During the first part of the shift, Home Position K goes through the picking process. After the picking process is completed, it is sent to Case Audit. Today we will learn the auditing process. This job is very important as the auditor is the last set of eyes to see the package. You will begin by signing on to the RF using two sessions, SH78 to check the case status and SH2 for audit. You will then select a unit to audit as well as a new case. Some destinations require certain boxes and labeling to be used. Ensure you select the correct casing for the destinations. Make sure there are no markings on the new case. Erase all chalk marks and remove all labels. In the unit that the picker gave you, there should be a label sheet. Retrieve that sheet. The RF screen will read from MU and to MU. Scan the 8HJ label, which is the one on the left, to the From MU screen. Then scan the new MU label that matches the destination and the transportation mode, which should be on the right. When asked if this is a full or partial transfer, state it as a partial transfer. You will then take the destination label off of that sheet and place it on the new case. For non-hazmat parts, you are not required to logically move the parts from one MU to the other. Just ensure that you physically move them. It is best to do this first, then move on to the hazmat parts.
Corrugate boxes for overpack have a stamp on one of the short sides. Do not cover this stamp up with any form of labeling. Check sort, as well as binning and picking, should have checked hazmat parts for irregularities. However, you must check this again. You are the last eyes to see the package, so it is your responsibility if the package is not checked properly. The way to remember this is to think of the acronym TULIP. The T stands for Transportation Information. This means to check to make sure the transportation label is covered up. The U stands for the UN marking. The UN marking must be legible and clear. L stands for label. There must be a Class 9 label on it. Class 9 labels must have 13 stripes, 7 black, 6 white, that are even in width and spacing. The top of the Class 9 label cannot wrap around the fold of the box more than 1/4 of an inch. Check to ensure there is no black line running through the middle of the Class 9 label as shown. These are outdated and may not be used. I stands for identification number. This identification number must be clear and legible. P stands for proper shipping name. The boxes also must be secured and taped properly and be free of all damage. If there is any damage to the packaging, write up a hazmat concern form and place the packaging in the quarantine area. Remember, TULIP.
You will then move the part into the new case.
Ensure you are using the proper ergo techniques. Do not twist your body, square your feet, bend at your knees, not at your waist, and use 2 hands when picking heavy parts.
Try to fit the parts as neatly as possible into the new case. After you move the part, enter the quantity moved. You will continue this process until all parts have been audited and placed in the new case.
Sometimes Home Position K is required to deal with paint. When auditing paint, you must remove the paint from the box to check the bottom of the paint for the Julian date, as this paint expires after 2 years. You will need to ensure the part number and quantity is correct and that there is no leakage. The Julian date begins with SE. The number after SE corresponds to a month and a day. The year is also stated in this set of numbers. For example, a 6 represents the year 2016, while a 5 represents the year 2015. You will then retrieve a large box for the paint. Only 33 bottles of paint are allowed in a larger box. There are typically 3 bottles of paint in a white box. Therefore, only 11 white boxes of 3 bottles of paint are allowed in the larger box. Seal the box, add the paint label as well as the up arrows, and place it into the case.
When finished auditing parts, key SH78 to make sure the label on the case matches the labels on the RF screen. This prevents non-scans. Then begin to place the hazmat placards on the overpack according to the commodities. When using a metal MU, remember to tape the labels onto the case instead of using the adhesive. This is because it can be difficult when trying to remove the label from the metal MU.
Also, when using a metal MU, remember to wear your gloves. Gloves must be worn whenever you are dealing with knives, metal, or wood.
Close the lid on the case and chalk the destination on the far side of the case facing the tugger rail as shown here. Complete the shipping log and the hazmat materials checklist. Attach the checklist onto the case for shipping.
Before completing the process, ensure all parts of the new case are complete. A way to remember this is to use the acronym PILOT. The P stands for proper ship name, the I stands for the identification number, the L stands for labels, and O stands for overpack mark. Lastly, the T stands for the transportation information.
Then take the case to be sent to F. In home position K, there are many roles one can have. Make sure to know all of these rules prior to starting the job. Hazmat is very particular, therefore you must follow all of these procedures in order to complete the job efficiently. Remember to follow these safety tips for this home position. Always wear your gloves when handling knives, metal, and wood. Use the proper ergo techniques. Remember the acronym TULIP as well as PILOT for hazmat packaging.